Hey guys, Dr. Amy here with Fortress Physical Therapy. Got another FPT athlete, Whitney Ellis, here, and just kind of wanted to talk to him and how he got started with physical therapy, what made him seek out physical therapy, how you continue to incorporate physical therapy into your health and wellness game, and what he would recommend to others, because there's this stigma out there that people just think physical therapy is table exercises and band exercises. So, welcome, Whit.
Well, thank you.
Awesome. So how did you hear about me? Like, how did you seek out services and tell your story a little bit, like your background, where you came from, what type of training you do.
Sure. Well, it's been a it's been a long road. I've been active. I've been fairly active most of my life. I've been into many gyms, doing many different things. But as I've become older, I think the one thing that I've realized is whenever something would hurt, I just stop and rest. And because I think, okay, well, my body will tell me when everything's okay, and that might be 1 month or 2 months later, and what I'll do is I'll feel fine and I'll go and re-injure it again. So what I found in coming to you and working through various physical therapy activities is no, there are ways to manage, not only manage the pain, but manage getting better while still being active instead of having those long rest periods off.
Yeah, yeah. And, you know, we've been through a pandemic, and, I think you have been one of the most consistent patients who have literally, we're to the point where you are once a month, once every 5 weeks or so that we kind of check in. And I remember, going through some virtual physical therapy with you. I remember some like big toe stuff.
Yes.
So we did a lot of like movement based things, over like FaceTime, a Zoom link. And you were pretty adamant because you're still working at home, but, tell me a little bit about like the virtual sessions.
Yeah, those. So the virtual sessions were really important. I've been, along with a lot of other folks. COVID has really changed how we work. I've been working from home for the past year or more now at this point, and it never stops. So I still want to be active. I still want to be able to do the things that we're able to do, and most of that right now is outside. And yeah, whenever I run or bike or am engaged in activities when it's nice out, the little injuries will start coming along. And so, yeah, I think it was great when the teleconference opportunities actually started because I would have these little issues, but I mean, I'm not going to come and see you. It's like, look, I have this problem with my toe, and we can figure it out later when there's something bigger happening. But I think the teleconference, I think those opportunities were great because I was able to work through those. You were able to give me a lot of exercises and other things to do, and luckily I haven't had much of an issue since.
Yeah, yeah, and Whitney's this one athlete. You've been on this journey. I swear, every time I see you for physical therapy, I'm just like, who is this person? Like, physically, and he's always an upbeat person. You've been on an amazing weight loss journey,
Yeah.
and that has carried over to some different things that he was able to achieve. Like, back in December, you rolled into the office, and I'm like, "Hey, Whit, what's up? How's your vid?" And he was just down. He's like, "My knees hurt. I don't know what happened, but my knees
Yeah.
hurt." And I'm like, "Both of them?" So luckily, honestly, his knee pain actually stemmed from your
It was the back.
back.
Yeah, yeah. That was totally surprising. It was a very nice weekend here in North Carolina. The day before, I usually bike ride, but it rained, and so I had all this extra energy, and I came in on a Sunday during open gym, and was working out, and I got caught up by the box monster. I was trying to do box jumps. I'm not good at them. Was trying to work on them. Missed the box, and just everything really felt bad after that. And it goes back to a little bit more about the journey that I was on. I had planned early on to do a road race, a half marathon, and this would have been the first time I've done half marathons before, but this was the first time that I was going to stick to a schedule of okay, on Monday I run 3 miles. On Thursday I run five 100-meter sprints or so. I mean, I had this perfectly laid out. And the week before it was supposed to start was the time that I would trip up on a box monster, and it just bummed me out completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, your big trip was in Zion.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you just came back from that, which he PR'd and had no knee pain, which was great.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so, you've been super consistent with, coming to physio one time a month or so. And, I feel like right now, even though these kind of big snowballs came up and blew up a little bit, we managed it. Like, literally, when you came in with that knee pain, you're like, I don't know if I'm going to sign up for this. Like,
Yeah.
literally, I have not even put my name out there. I didn't even buy my flight. I'm like, hold up. So what promotes you to continue to keep physical therapy in your health and wellness game and longevity? And what would you tell others out there to know about physical therapy or to reach out for physical therapy?
Well, I think the biggest the biggest reason is I see the results. When I came in here and I knew my knees were shot and I tried to run and I could not run a 12-minute mile to save my life, and I'm like, okay, this is over. It's just not working. But yeah, I came in and we did some things, and you were saying, I remember you kept on saying, oh no, it's in your back. I'm like, no, it's my knees. I know the pain is in my knees because I can feel them when I run. It's in your back. I'm sure it's in your back. I think I know my body, and it's in my knees. No, I don't know my body, and it was in my back. I see the results, and that's the biggest thing. I feel myself getting better. I talked a little bit earlier about how, if I were to feel a pain or if I were to get injured, I'd just rest and I'd be on the shelf for 2 months. And that's not the way to do it, because that doesn't really heal anything.
Right.
Yeah, you're just resting up. The biggest thing is seeing results. Number two, it goes back to if I knew then what I knew now. I've been working out in various gyms, doing various things for 20 years. This was not a part of the game. Or if it was, oh, hey, do this stretch before you work out and then you'll be fine. Well, okay, that's not enough. And you try to do the most at an earlier age. You try to do the most minimum things you can to get by.
Right.
But what I've realized is with physical therapy and just incorporating that into my game, I'm not as injured as much. If I am, it's a quicker healing process, and I'm able to do more things now better than I was even 10 years ago.
Yeah. Cool. So what would you tell someone who's, on the fence about seeing a physio or not, or like, hey, is this going to help me or not?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, and it's with everything, it takes time.
Yeah.
If you come in and expect for the first visit, okay, you worked on my, when I first came in here, it was a shoulder issue.
Yeah.
And if I were to stop at one, then nothing would have gotten better. This is coming to physical therapy is a process to get better. It's not it's not one of those, hey, I'm going to come in and see you, and it's going to be exactly perfect when I leave. That's not the thing. It's a process, and you get better, and you get to know more about yourself. And I think that's the biggest thing. Especially, well, of course, the times when I thought it was my knees and it was actually my back. You learn something every day.
Yeah.
But the more you come, the better off you feel. And I wish I would have known even 10 years ago. This whole thing is a journey. It's a process. There are going to be times where you come into the gym and you feel off. And it's not, oh, I'm tired, but maybe your elbow's hurting or maybe your knee's hurting. And it's a process, and there are people to help you out.
Right. Cool. Awesome. Yeah. Whitney definitely nailed that. Like, it's not a one fix and you're done, but the results matter, and it matters to the patient in order to keep them in the game of life. So, awesome journey, and he's just going to continue to do trail runs, triathlons, biathlons, Ironmans, full Ironmans.
Maybe a little,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
a little down the line.
All right,
yeah.
all right, awesome. Well, I appreciate it, Whit, so much, and thanks for being part of Team FPT and the FPT athlete community, and that's where it's at. And we'll see you out there doing some other trail runs and everything.
Doing
so,
something, yeah.
Yeah, awesome, Whit. Thanks.
Great.